Buying your own home is one of the most rewarding things you could possibly do, but it is also the most stressful and all-round difficult things to do as well. Hi, it's Farah. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about how I use visualization meditations to help me buy my first home. I am a very strong believer in the manifestation, law of attraction. I just really believe in the idea of attracting exactly what you want into your life and managing your energy in accordance with that. I've done a much more in-depth video on manifestation specifically for beginners if you're not familiar with the term or what it actually is. So definitely check that video out if you're interested. I'll leave it in the description box below. But in this video today, I'm going to be focusing on visualization meditations in particular because I really do believe that by me putting this method of manifestation into practice during the process of me buying my first home, it was a really big reason as to why I was actually able to accomplish it. So let's go back to basics. What is visualization meditation? So when you visualize something, you just focus on something very specific. So that could be an event, a person, a goal, just something you want to achieve. And you hold that in your mind and you just imagine it already being your reality. This technique is something that I tried pretty much for the very first time consciously when I was starting to buy my first property. Looking back, I also realized I used to do this a lot when I was younger. I was a massive daydreamer as a child and I never actually realized the impacts that my daydreams were having. Like, I would used to dream about other things I actually have in my life now. It's just funny looking back because when you fit all the pieces together, you're just like, wow, is that actually like real? I can discuss more story times on this in another video because this stuff works. But I'm just going to tell you the story of my property because a lot of you that follow me have been inspired by my journey of buying my first home by myself and everything that's come with it and the experience of it and how I actually did it in the first place. And this is something that I did during the process. So whether you believe in manifestation or not, I did want to kind of share this story or this part of the story as well, just in case you are interested or curious, because I do think it was a big part. So anyways, right back at the beginning then, I was very anxious when I was looking to buy my first place. There were so many anxieties going on. It was things like worrying about whether I would actually find somewhere. It was taking a really long time. Things kept falling through. Just the stress of being able to get a mortgage. And not to mention, when I first put an offer in for a property and started going through the whole process, it was in the middle of COVID. So there were 101 extra barriers than there ordinarily would have been, just because of that circumstance. So that was creating a whole extra load of stress on top as well. So it was just an all-round tricky situation at the time. And when you are in a stressed or negative emotive state for a prolonged period of time, so this isn't just snaps of oh, I feel sad but now I'm okay. This is for a prolonged period of time when the same thing is stressing you out, especially that one thing that is meant to be your goal and something that you're meant to be excited about and something that you're trying to achieve. The law of attraction says that you're not going to attract that thing that you want if you are in a negative state of mind towards it and because of it, because the energies just aren't aligned. And if you're not aligned to what you're trying to attract, then you're just going to keep missing it. You're not going to achieve it. Now combined with that, the lack mindset and the feeling of not having what you want is also a big problem and something that I really struggled with at the time. All I could think about was how desperate I was to have it, but by me feeling that desperation for it, the energy that I'm putting out there is that I don't already have it, which means I'm not going to get it because all I'm thinking about is the lack of it, not the prospect of having it and the excitement and the gratitude for having it. So my alignment, it was just off for a very long time. Now, I knew that I had to change this mindset and I was already aware of the law of attraction. I already knew about manifestation, but in reality and in your true life, it's very, very hard to switch these mindsets and these beliefs. You feel like your emotions are automatic towards the situation. You can't control them because it is your reality. It's what you're facing now and you're reacting to what is happening in the present and not potentially what's happening in the future. So I started trying visualization meditations, which I found out through YouTube. I think it popped up one day and it really intrigued me, and this is something that I'd kind of dabbled in previously. And then I realized maybe this is something I should try, but specifically towards the house, to get me to start thinking about it a bit more positively and just remove the stress element and me feeling those negative emotions towards the situation. Now, when I decided I wanted to start doing this, it wasn't something that I thought I would do routinely. It was something that I almost got a little bit addicted to, if I'm being honest. I would get them from YouTube. There are plenty out there. There's lots of different ones, and I used a couple of them. You just kind of have to find like what really resonates with you, and you kind of know when you feel like you feel comfortable and you feel like it's working. I will leave some of the links if I can find them. This was like a couple of years ago now, but I'll try and find the links that I specifically used when I went through these meditations, because they were specifically for getting a house. So the videos basically take you through a normal meditation, but it is geared towards getting a home. So it talks about how you feel now that you're in it, like imagining that you're actually in the home, the excitement that you feel, like how you would use the space, and just going into this daydream state of actually already owning that home and having already achieved the goal that you're trying to achieve. So you think about what it looks like what you're using it for, like inviting people around. The visualization part is visualizing exactly that life that you want to be living and what you expect life to be like once you already have the thing that you're working towards. So you're putting yourself in the shoes of you in a couple months time, a year's time, having already achieved it, not worrying about the stress of whether you're going to get it, what's happening now. Now, after spending around 15 to 20 minutes doing this every day, you really start to see it shift your real life perspective on what's going on. So instead of me just dreaming about how excited I was genuinely getting excited in real life. So when obstacles, of course, would come up and my emotions were still all over the place, but I found slowly that the negative emotions I felt would disappear a lot quicker than they used to, because I was then filled with all the excitement and the gratitude for even having the opportunity to purchase somewhere and get my own place, and thinking of all the ideas and things that I'd be doing with the place once I've got it, as if it's happening regardless of all the difficulties that I'm facing. So I found my real life attitude kind of start merging with this dream life attitude, and they kind of came together in the sense that I was now almost experiencing those emotions for real and actually believing that this was going to come through no matter what. So yeah, I just felt generally a lot more positive, and my mood was boosted about the whole idea of getting the property because of those meditations. And all of that was despite not actually owning the property still in the real world yet. Now, don't get me wrong, there were still times, like I said, I was still stressed, anxious, feeling negative emotions at some points, of course, because that is totally normal, that's human, and you're never going to eliminate every single negative emotion ever towards a situation, no matter how hard you try. But the main thing was, majority of the time, I was feeling positive, and I think that really helped speed up the process. And if anything, it kept me sane throughout the whole process. If anything at all, whether it actually contributed to me getting the place in the end, it kept me sane and it kept me mentally stable during all the stressful parts of the process. So if anything, honestly, just do it for that. Your reality is literally what you think and believe. If you think about how many different scenarios there are in life and the different perspectives that you can look at things from, that perspective is, in a sense, your reality. So just by shifting that perspective, you have a new reality. And it happens in every stage and different scenario that you have in your life. So this is just one of the many examples, but it truly works. Also, just a side note, I obviously know that there is way more that was put into this process than just me meditating. I did not get a property because I meditated on it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I definitely know the trials and tribulations I went through even before I even put an offer in, the saving, the budgeting, years of working my absolute butt off to even be able to afford to get my own property and get a mortgage offer. So I'm not saying that meditations are just going to help things land into your lap, but they, like I said, kept me sane and kept me excited about the process, which definitely contributed a lot to the whole process. I really hope that sharing my experience on visualization meditations has helped you guys in some way, even if it just soothes your anxieties, that you're not alone when you're struggling with anything in life, or anything that you're trying to achieve. If you feel like it's super far away, if you feel like you're not really getting anywhere, it can 100% be used for any other scenario that you're facing. So I would really recommend this method, whether it's you're trying to get certain grades at uni, whether you're trying to get a job. It will apply to any scenario, but this is just my experience of using it to buy my own property. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried a visualization meditation or any other form of meditation, how it's helped you, because I know that it's something that helps a lot of people in general, and I know it's something that a lot of people just aren't aware of. It's something that I wasn't really consciously aware of till maybe like a few years ago. So it's definitely something I wanted to share, and I hope you guys found it really interesting. Please give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys!